Hello. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Chastity. If you're new here, we read a lot of books, we do a lot of things. It's kind of the whole shtick. Now, I am keenly aware that I haven't posted in, I think, a little over a month. I have been having some health issues, but we are just going to keep rolling with the punches and doing the things that I care about. I also was working on a video and reading some books that kind of put me into a slump, and I haven't been reading a lot because there's been too much happening in here. But that all changes today because I have book club on Tuesday and I still have to read our book club book. So we're just gonna do a good old-fashioned mood reading vlog. I'm in a comfy sweater. I have vibes set up on my TV ready to go. So there is an abundance of candy and sweet treats in my house, so we will be munching on those. I have my iced coffee in my little Bones mug, and I'm excited to read something that I'm excited about. Does that make sense? So what are we reading, you may ask? First book for this week is going to be Silver Elite. Hey, Bubba, it was me. We're going to be reading Silver Elite. I've already taken the dust jacket off because I did start it. I have read One chapter of this book. My hope today is to get halfway to like 3/4. If I could finish it, chef's kiss. But it is already 1:45 in the afternoon on a Saturday. So with that being said, let's set up on the couch in our comfiest spot and read. And I am simply planning on reading until Cody comes home from work tonight. So let's go. Can't forget my coffee. I need more information. Okay. So far, I'm on page 106, chapter 11? Chapter 11. The way this book was described to me... I'm talking. The way this book was described to me was a, like, Hunger Games, Divergent, post-apocalyptic vibe, but just like shallower. That's what I heard. But so far, I'm gonna say I really like this. I like this book. I feel like you know who the love interest is, like right off the bat. I feel like there was no like lead up. They were just like, hey. Granted, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's very like Romeo and Juliet, if you know what I mean. Also, Cain, a character that you meet in chapter 10, I feel like is going to be the, like, best guy friend, brotherly love. I feel like Cain is giving, like, Riddick energy, and I'm kind of excited to see, like, how that plays out. I could be wrong. He could be a piece of shit, but that's my little update. I don't have a ton to say, because here's the thing. I went into this book kind of blind, and I don't know what it's about. I don't. And I read the first chapter and was very confused. But now that I'm on chapter 11, I'm having a great time. How many pages are in this book? 512. I'm on page 106. So I've got about 400 more pages left. It is 4:15. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. But I will say, I feel like I'm reading slower because I kind of have a headache. But the coffee is helping. But I say let's get back into this because I'm having a great time. I'm officially on page 269, chapter 29. And let me just say, I'm having a wonderful time. I went into this book with not great expectations. And so the fact that it's exceeding my expectations, I'm kind of having a fun time. It gives big Divergent energy. I think it's closer to Divergent than like Hunger Games with like the secret identity hiding in plain sight kind of vibe. I did have to stop and look it up, and it is the first book in a trilogy that I was unaware of. The next one is supposed to be coming out in May of 2026. And I was mad because now there's another series that I have to read. But I am a little bit over halfway done. I'm going to stop and heat some pizza up and maybe watch like a little bit of YouTube while I eat, and then get back to this book because it's 8 p.m. and I think I have a good shot of maybe finishing this book tonight. Maybe. If not, at least getting real close. So, let's get some food. So Saturday night, Cody came home almost immediately, and we opted to watch TV instead of sitting in silence together. So I haven't read anything. It is now Monday. I didn't read anything Sunday because I had to go work like in one of the pharmacies, and I was exhausted when I came home. So book club is tomorrow. I have about 40% left of this book. I unfortunately am about to go sit right back down on the couch in the exact same spot. I had planned on like putting up my hammock and going outside for a little bit, but it got dark real fast. So here's to finishing the book tonight, hopefully. It is 5:53 and I'm doing some laundry. No part of me wants to cook dinner, so I might order a pizza and we're just gonna go from there. Okay, time for an update. So, one, I'm currently working in an office setting. That's super nice. So, I've been listening to my audiobook. When I got to work, I had about 4 hours left on the Silver Elite audiobook. I have been listening to it all morning. I have, I think, like an hour left. The big, like, romantic plot point kind of happened. I'm kind of waiting for the third act breakup. It always happens. There was a little bit of a, like, love triangle thing that was like hinted at, but it was done really well and I wasn't mad about it. Tragedy has struck, but once I'm done with the book tonight before I go to book club, I will give you like my in-depth thought. So the next time you see me, I will have finished the book. Okay guys, let's talk about Silver Elite. I did finish it today while I was at work. This was a book of okays, in my opinion. I struggled for a very long time on whether or not I was going to give it like a 3 or a 4, and I think I settled on a 3.75. The reason it wasn't a 3.25 or a 3.5 was because of the ending. Now, this book, Silver Elite, is about a young woman named Wren, like the bird, who is a modified. She has mind powers, essentially. So she can speak telepathically, she can read minds, she is a projector, so she can project images into other people's brains, and she is an insider, which means that she can control people's minds on occasion. Her guardian is captured and she is arrested and thrown into basically the military to like prove her loyalty and allegiance to the crimes who run the country. Mods are hunted down and killed for their mind powers. They're not trusted because of the previous ruler of their like nation. It's a dystopian world. So the United States was bombed hundreds of years ago by all of the like nuclear weapons that we have, and this is kind of what they have been left with. The mods are people who the radioactivity has modified them. Does that make sense? I hope I explained that well. We follow her and her love interest while she is battling and wrestling with how to get out of this situation. Who can she trust? Who does she want dead? How does she escape? Apparently, this is Dani Francis's first novel. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but what I looked up, this is her first novel. It's her debut. It is the first in a trilogy, so I have some high hopes for the next 2 books. I really enjoyed the concept. I enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed like the telepathy aspect, the mind reading, the being able to communicate with people in your mind aspect of this. It was a lot of fun. I did enjoy the romance. I think that it wasn't very like fleshed out. I guessed her love interest from the start. I knew exactly who it was going to be. I knew there were a couple of the twists that were gonna happen. There are things that are stereotypical for like a fantasy dystopian romance novel like this that you're like, oh, obviously. I will say, towards the end, the last like 25% of this book, a lot of the things that happened I did not see coming. I was shocked by a lot of the twists. I was caught off guard and taken aback by some of the things that happened. And I don't want to give too much of it away, but there is betrayal, there is love, there is lust, there is found family kind of vibes in a community where you don't expect it. It is very like feeling like an outsider and feeling like you don't belong in the world. There are unexpected friendships made and forged. All of that being said, the things that I kind of had a problem with and didn't enjoy as much in this book was I felt like the world was too fleshed out. There were too many tidbits. There were too many like micro facts about the like world and community that didn't fit into like this story. And I kind of wish that they had come out later. Like there are certain territories and certain groups of people that didn't feel important and didn't really tie into the story that was being told that I feel like are going to come into play later, but I kind of wish that they had come into play later. Hi, Bubby! I think they could have come into play later and not been part of the original like first text. My dog ran into my camera. So if there's a subtle change, I'm so sorry. As I was saying, I think that the relationship she had with her best friend was more fleshed out. You could see their dynamic and why they cared for one another more than her and her love interest was. Her love interest felt very, I'm infatuated with you and I have lust for you, but we didn't really understand why she had like deep feelings until later. And then it's like a switch flipped and all of a sudden everybody's lovey-dovey, and I wanted more like angst. I wanted more inner conflict. I wanted more resolution to problems set before us before we started in on a slew of new problems. But all of that to be said, I do recommend this book. I did enjoy my time in this story. I will be reading the next one when it comes out. Don't get me wrong. The last 25 to 30% of the book really sold me on the story and why I was here. But like I said earlier, it felt like Divergent for adults that was not executed perfectly. That is Silver Elite by Dani Francis. I will be reading the next one when it comes out. Don't get me wrong. So in like a year when it comes out, I probably expect a new video. But that was my weekend and Monday, Tuesday read. So it is time to start a new book, and I know exactly what book that I'm going to be starting because I have been wanting to read this book since I finished the first one. We are starting Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I am so excited about Two Twisted Crowns. When I finished One Dark Window, I hunted for this book for days before I actually found it in a store. I guess a lot of people were reading this book at the exact same time as me. It's a lot of magic. It's a lot of fun. It's very unique. I'm very excited. So I will be starting this one tomorrow because it is my bedtime. But this is book 2. it is right about noon, and I started listening to Two Twisted Crowns today. I guess I've forgotten some of the things that happened, and so I'm trying to like catch back up and reintegrate with the characters. I will say this book is much more Elm's perspective, which is one of the princes. And I loved Elm. He's sarcastic and dashing and guarded, and we love Elm. So I'm not very far. I'm on chapter 7 or 8, I think, because I'm working, but we'll see how far I can get. Good morning. I'm so tired. I woke up late this morning. I was going to film while I was putting my makeup on and being a person, but as you can see, no makeup. But I made it about halfway through. I'm on chapter 28 of my book. And so far, I can't remember if I said this yesterday, but a good chunk of this book is from Elm's perspective, which is the prince, one of the princes. And I love it so much. I was in the office yesterday, like kicking my feet and giggling while I was working, and it was chef's kiss. I love it so much. I'm having a great time. I don't think I filmed when I read One Dark Window. One Dark Window is the first book, and this is the second, and it's in the duology, Two Twisted Crowns. One Dark Window is about a girl named Elspeth who has a nightmare that lives in her head because as a child she touched a nightmare card. The entire magic system is based on a deck of cards that was given by the spirit of the wood, and they're trying to find the deck of cards to lift the mist and basically free the continent from the spirit in the woods. Because if you go out into the mist without your talisman, you basically get this virus and you get sick, but you're given magic, but the magic is degenerative, and so people are going crazy or dying. When she was a child, she got sick, and her degeneration is the nightmare. This is all kind of up front in the first book, so I don't feel like I'm giving anything away. But in the first book, you follow her as she is helping kind of this rebellion find the cards before the king does. Now, second book, you're following so far, it's been 3 points of view: Elm, Raven, and Elspeth. Raven and Elspeth's point of views are few and far between. This really feels like it's Elm's book, and I'm having a great time. I don't feel like there's a lot I can tell you without giving plot points away from the first book, but they're still on the hunt for the cards. They still have not found all the cards, and there is more tension, and there's more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's still early. I haven't even had coffee yet, but I'm sorry that I'm not filming me actually reading the book since I'm listening to it at work, and I cannot show you anything in my office. I'm gonna go inside and listen to more of my book. I'm kind of hoping that I finish it today. If I don't finish the audiobook, maybe I'll finish the physical book tonight, but that's the goal. Also, it's Wednesday. I filmed the first book last week, and I'm filming this one this week. It's been a hectic few days. I have something going on almost every night, every week, and it's beginning to become too much. But I'm gonna go get coffee and turn to my audiobook. So I love you. I will see you in the next update. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm on page 380 out of 430, chapter 45. I have if you take on the audiobook, I have about an hour left of the book, but I plan on sitting here and finishing these last 50 pages, holy crap, and finishing the story. I absolutely love this. Rachel Gillig killed it. Oh my goodness, I can't say enough good things, but let's get this knocked out. I didn't listen to it at all today at work because I wanted you guys to be here with me while I finished it. So, I am I think what I'm going to do is just let the camera run. So that way you kind of get to see, like, I'll cut out all the boring parts of me just sitting here silently. But any kind of commentary, any kind of emotions. My friend read it and she said she sobbed the end of the book. And so I'm preparing myself for an emotional moment because there have already been a few. Okay? Okay? So, oh my goodness, let's get into this. No! Okay. You don't get to speak. No. No, no, no. No. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I finished Two Twisted Crowns. I finished Silver Elite, and then I hit a mental block and did not film anything again for another month. But we're back in the swing of things. Here we are. Everything's fine. That being said, I think I rated Two Twisted Crowns of 5 stars. Rachel Gillig is now one of my all-time favorite authors. I actually just read another one of her books, The Night and the Moth, for book club this last month. Incredible. I loved it. Broke my poor little heart. All that to say, 10 out of 10 experience. If you want a unique magic system, romance but not a lot of smut, fighting for freedoms and liberties, hiding under the nose of oppression, that kind of thing, I think both of these books are a really good choice, honestly. But Two Twisted Crowns was definitely my favorite out of the two. Sorry, I'm being quiet. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. But we won't talk about that. But yeah, I thought I would take just a second to kind of let you guys know kind of what's been going on. I've been absent for quite a bit of time. I had some physical health things going on. I had some mental health things going on. I had some stuff at my job that really sucked. And hello. That scared me so bad. I had some stuff going on at my job that really sucked. And I was fighting really hard just to get up in the morning and want to be a person, let alone do things that I love and spend time on my hobbies and spend time doing this, because I absolutely love this and this gives me a lot of joy. But when you are just trying to make it in the day, not a lot of joy could be found at the time, but we are getting better. We are doing more. We are fighting. We're fighting hard to not only go day to day, but to enjoy day to day. So all of that to be said, I hope to see more of you guys. If you see me in this same shirt next week, no, you didn't. And I love you guys so much. If you're new here and you haven't already, you should probably subscribe so you can see more videos like this. If you want to see more reading vlogs, go ahead and hit the little bell icon. You'll be notified every time that I post, which is normally on Saturdays at noon. And if you have a suggestion or you want to see me do something or you want me to read a particular book, go ahead and leave a comment. I love you guys, and I will see you in the acknowledgements. Bye.